Inside the head of this fish are two stones that stabilizes the equilibrium of the fish, and it allows the fish to suspend itself in the kelp and not move. So divers find them very hard to get. These are hard to catch, but when they go off and they want to bite, they are absolutely stupid. But you can go, like one night, every boat in the fleet will load up on them, and then you go out the next day and they're ghosted, they're gone. And then a week later they pop up again in the exact same spot. So this is the fish that everybody wants to catch. It's a member of the croaker family. And what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna break this fish down and I'm gonna show you about utilization of the whole fish. Because here in America, we've lost touch with our food. And I look around, I can see a lot of gentlemen the same age group as me. We're the first generation of the TV dinner, remember that? Right? Hungry Man, Swanson's Hungry Man, yeah. And with that, since then, we've lost touch with our food, and we need to get back into it. We need to know where our food comes from and all that. We have a massive influx of foreign seafood coming into America. And I can tell you that 70% of that stuff coming in is not inspected by the FDA. So it's very important to know your source when it comes to seafood. So I made a cut across the tail. I'm gonna lift its pectoral fin here. I'm gonna make a slice here. And I'm just gonna cut the belly open and run my knife just like that a little bit and open it up. And then we're gonna take the tip, just the tip of the knife, and we're gonna work it back and forth on the fish. I'll tap my blade just to knock the scales off. I'm going to spin the fish around because I'm left-handed. It's easier for me. Same thing, we're just going to work the knife in there. And you can see the knife bouncing, and that tells me that it's on the spine, which runs the length of the fish. We're just going to wiggle the fish a little bit. And all I'm going to do is just work my knife a little bit on the tendons. Just like that. Wiggle it up. And then we're going to run the knife all the way through it. Just like this. There we go. And that'll give you the fillet. Now, you see a lot of people, the bone, the rib cage is here. And so we're going to take the knife and we're going to work it right along the ribs. And a lot of people would throw that away. There's all kinds of things that you can do with that. One of the things I like to do is I like to feel in between the ribs. And we're going to make fish ribs out of it. You can deep fry these. You can do whatever you want with them. Barbecue them, bake them, roll them up into a ball, run a skewer through it, barbecue it up, but you don't want to throw it away. Remember, we want to utilize the whole fish. We don't kill a cow just to make bacon, although bacon makes everything better, right? Everything better.
Everything.
Yeah. So we have one fillet, and we're going to leave the skin on that for the chef. Then another piece of the fish that for some reason we really don't utilize here in a lot of our cuisines, but it's catching on, and that is the collar. So if you look, to remove the collar, it's very simple. If you look right where the tip of my finger is, there's a little hinge there. See the hinge moving? And every fish has one. So you take the tip of your knife and you run it under the hinge and pop it out like that, and then you get this. And this is the best part of the fish, honestly. So I'm going to flip this fish over. Here we go. cut the tail. And then when you get done with filleting both sides of the fish, you always want to save the bones and make stock and all that fun stuff out of it. So take the collar off of this, find the hinge, and we just bust it up. The head, so, and this is, it's a shame because this gets tossed as well, but there's all kinds of meat on there. Throw this in your smoker, get the 12-pack of beer out of your cooler, right? Sit down on the picnic table with some newspaper, and go to town with this. But don't throw it away. Now, the sea bass head, inside here, we got to remember that guy, what was that comedian? When he broke open the watermelons and splattered everybody? Gallagher. Now, here's one. And here's the other one.
What are those things again?
So these are calcium deposits that are in the cranium of the fish, and it stabilizes their equilibrium. Now, I got enough to pass out if anybody wants to.
Yeah, the ones you saw in the jar, they've all been cleaned.
Yeah.
If you'd like a couple, we're going to pass them around.
So you get a matching set.
You make earrings.
You get a matching set of earrings, and if you go online and you look for these online, a set of these earrings are going to run you $800. So you might want to take a couple stones. If not, that's okay. I got 2 sparkless jars at home full. So with the head, there's a couple of restaurants that are now harvesting the tongues and sauteing those and doing them in Asian style dishes. But even the head carries a lot of meat, so you don't want to throw that stuff away. You want to hold on to that stuff. You want to utilize the whole fish, and when you go to buy fish, you want to ask questions, you want to know your source, and you want to know the country of origin. And what I mean by that is, if you go to Ralph's or Bond's or any of the big stores, up in the right hand corner on the red and white label, you'll see the weight and how much the fish is per pound and all that. But way up in the corner, you'll see country of origin. Country of origin is very important because basically if your fish has more frequent flyer miles on it than your American Airlines credit card, it ain't that fresh. And we have plenty of seafood here on our shores that we should be buying as much as we possibly can from our local guys and our local farmers as well. So that's the white sea bass. You want to add anything, Chef?
We used everything you were mentioning. So the spine, the bone, we did the broth. We took it out the ceviche that you're gonna have as a starter, and we use the collar to season the risotto. So you're gonna have this
So it's going to be fun.
everywhere.